slow at getting. Okay,
Alright, it's 1:03 PM, we will begin this work session of Lake County Board of County Commissioners. We are going over department by department, short and long-term goals with a little sprinkling of discussion about budgets. And we are beginning with the airport.
do you want the,
Yeah,
you're racking?
you can, there's not much.
Okay, you just tell me what you'd like.
So I guess I'll start from the top, distribute ground leases and engage interested parties to start construction in summer of 2025. We haven't really achieved that one yet. We put out the RFP for a second time and got no bids again. I did get some details on why some people weren't bidding on it because they felt that the terms were onerous. Those were some terms that were used. One big one was especially for just like a private, someone who owns a plane that wants to build a hangar. They didn't wanna have to pay for engineered drawings to submit and then maybe not get picked. So they didn't wanna pay that cost and just kinda throw the money up in the air and hopefully they wouldn't bid. So that was one piece of feedback I got. So that's kind of where we're at with that. I'm hoping now, obviously, 2025 summer's it's over. So we're looking at 2026 build start. So that'll be a big focus this winter. It will be to really start getting that in motion so that we can have shovel ready stuff coming May, June timeframe. Questions on that?
Yeah, is the septic situation holding people back? And then second question is, have you talked to our new county attorney about that lease? Maybe we can amend that lease?
It's been, I have to schedule a meeting, that's kind of where we're at with that. Cause I'd like to approach it from a different path where we just, if people are interested, they come in and we kind of set up negotiations. But Candace and Matt and I would like to talk through that
Yeah.
process a little bit, and how that looks. That's typically how it's performed at most other airports that lease ground to people to build. But I think we wanna get our procedures in place and stuff. The septic, we haven't really made it that far yet to have anyone kind of push back on that. So I imagine people will be looking for bathrooms. It's not required, they don't have to have bathrooms, it's kind of a luxury. If you know T hangers, they call them, cause they look like nested Ts, so one T nested with another T and they park planes in them. Tons of airports have those and they don't have bathrooms. So it's kind of like not a necessity, but a luxury kind of. So we should be able to get around that if we had to. We've explored collection tanks, so they just have to get pumped, but if you just have a bathroom and a single toilet in the bathroom and you're in there how many days a week, it's not gonna fill up very fast, so. And those just have to get pumped similar to like a
Portalet.
portalet. So,
Well, if we're not getting any interest, we need to start encouraging interest.
but we've had interest, people just didn't wanna go through the RFP process.
Got it?
And I wanna work with Matt to understand what we need to do that would be, not violating any rules that we have for that, but also makes sense in terms of getting people to utilize those, so
I just put it on my to-do list.
thank you.
Alright, my second item, perform necessary fuel farm safety and efficiency upgrades. I haven't achieved that one either, cause we got bids for that this summer. We had two, we had budgeted, I think, $65,000, cause that's what I was told it would cost a couple years ago, and the first bid was $113,000 and the second bid was $157,000.
Oh.
So that one's been pushed a little bit. We can continue to still operate the fuel farm, it is safe, it is operable. This is just kind of bringing us into more current standards and really improving our efficiency, cause right now we use the pump in the tank that pumps the hose at the pump to fill our truck. And our truck holds 3,000 gallons and that takes 2 hours and 27 minutes to do. So if we start servicing enough aircraft, jets particularly, and we pump a lot of fuel, that's gonna be an untenable situation where pilots are stuck because they're waiting for us to fill our fuel truck back up. So that was a big piece of it, adding some filtration, water slug, so jet fuel often has a fair amount of water in it, so water collection. And then upgrading piping into stainless steel, cause we start getting corrosion in our piping. Cause I think it's just black iron. So it corrodes, and then you start to see that particulate matter in filters and stuff. Currently, our fuel farm is still safe, we pump fuel every day, we sump it, we drain the water out of the bottom of the tanks, we check it. So there's no issues there. It's still fully operational, we don't have any problems, it's just this is kinda gonna push us to be able to support more jet traffic in the future and just have better fuel quality moving forward, cause often if an aircraft has a mishap, a crash or anything like that, the first place they go to is where it last had maintenance and where it last got fuel.
Yeah,
So I've been on as a mechanic, I've been on the receiving end of both of those, like where plane had an engine flame out and they found out you're like, oh boy, I worked on that last week and I changed the fuel filter. Turned out it was a fuel issue, so it wasn't us, but that is often the first piece of liability comes back, like if they're looking for fuel or for who had maintenance on it. And that can be quite costly.
as the fuel sits in those tanks, you're saying the moisture that's present in just about all fuel separates and goes to the bottom of the tank, and you gotta get the water out of there?
Most of it comes with our kind of unique climate up here, it's warm during the day and it gets quite cold at night. So we see most of our moisture is when we have a lower tank, so there's more, cause it's
Condensation
vented.
inside.
Yeah, so the water vapor condenses on the inside, on the walls and then flows into the tank. So if it's really dry, we don't see much water in the fuel. But then we start getting like the weather coming now, where a few days of wet and rainy or snowy, the humidity's high, then we'll start to see more water in the tank. But it's a 12,000 gallon tank and I think the most water we ever pumped out was like 5 gallons. So, and we also have a floating suction, so jet fuel is less dense than water.
Yeah,
So water collects at the bottom. So we have a floating suction that sits on top of the jet fuel and pulls fuel that way. And we found that you honestly can't even pump like the bottom 700 or 800 gallons because there's an elbow on it and it sits on the bottom and then you can't, so really us getting into water is pretty low risk.
unlikely.
Yeah, and we'd also have to be very negligent on our sumping, but we do it every day and we track it, so.
Does that old fuel mix with new fuel when you fill it up, or is it?
Yes,
It does.
yeah, there's no issues, the big issues come from like ethanols, but we sell 100 low lead avgas, which is pure, like gasoline.
Yeah.
It's leaded gasoline in it, but it's like, there's nothing in it, it is, you drop it on the ground and it looks like acetone evaporating, it's very, like, Andy is a bike rider, he could tell you, people come by it cause it runs cleaner and like their bike and motorcycle engines and stuff.
If you're jetted right for it, it's good
Yes.
stuff.
But jet fuel is like basically a diesel, but they don't put all of the additives that they put in for like combustion engines or for like piston engines. So it's just a really clean kerosene. So we don't ever have any issues with it. You're supposed to be able to recirculate jet fuel. That is one piece that this pump will allow us to do. So that is one, so you kind of mix and you don't get the separation and stuff. But we also order all of our jet fuel with icing inhibitors called Prist. So we order that year round, cause you never know when it's gonna get cold in Mudville, so.
Yeah.
Josh and I've talked just a little bit about trying to find some grant funding for the fuel farm, so that we could try to do that work, so that is something that we're gonna be trying to look for.
Yeah, the state's been pretty open, and CDOT Aeronautics has been pretty open about funding fuel farm projects and stuff. I learned like within the last year that they'll give you a lot of money if you kinda ask for it sometimes. They did the Walden Airport, which if you've ever been to Walden is like nothing.
Yeah,
They paid like $4.9 million for that, new brand new
Whoa.
runway up there, the state funded it.
alright,
And I was like, I didn't know you could ask for that much. So we have a CIP, the capital improvement plan that we do with the state and the FAA. I have a meeting set up for next week to kind of see if I could ask for some money on that. It might not be next year, but might be like 2027 timeframe for some funding,
Sweet.
to jump that gap for cost. Focus on market development to increase jet traffic and attract aviation businesses for permanent operations at the airport. One of these, we kinda got a snafu. The big one for this winter was, as I think you guys might have been privy to, is to order a de-icer. So we could de-ice aircraft, not the runway, that's been confused. The sun does that for us very well. But we have to spray glycols on aircraft to de-ice the aircraft itself, otherwise they can't fly. Big business in the winter. You make quite a bit of money, it costs quite a bit of money to de-ice an aircraft, plus the extra traffic and fuel sales that come with. I think that's the bigger boon. I kinda hope we don't de-ice that many, cause it's kinda hard, it's not a lot of fun to do.
yeah,
But we got approved for that in a capital request last year in December, and unfortunately, there was a budgeting error and it did not make it into the budget. So we will not, we got bids and everything, and we don't have the
He got
funding.
a bid for 16 and one for 160, and I said, hey, I'd like to hold off. It does sound like maybe there's an old de-icer, I don't know if it's seized up or not, wanna look into that. I am more of the mindset to see what do we have currently and could we get it to operate just for this year, it's better than having nothing. And then actually collect some data to inform, would we have enough to offset, like actually getting the nicer one that he had quoted for 168, which I think is fine if we have like the proof of concept there, if that's possible. So I do know that we wanna maybe take a look at that and figure out, cause it's worth it if it brings in enough jets to offset the cost of it and is a long-term investment, so
Yeah.
we'll start to get some of that data together.
So we do have an old one on the ground, I've never even tried to fire it up.
Yeah.
It's been there, I worked at the airport in like 2015, and it was there then, and I don't think they used it then either.
these are like truck based, or,
The ones we were looking at were like trailer based,
okay,
cause then you don't need to purchase another vehicle.
Mhm.
I thought that might be we could use what we currently have and then we don't have that cost. Cause typically if you look at a truck based one with like a ladder boom on it, they start getting up into the $250,000, $300,000 range.
Wow.
So the one we looked at was this Polar is the brand called the Arctic Fox out of Quebec. But it's just a trailer based one. You have to heat glycols to spray them, so they have to be heated. This one heats and has insulation and has a boom and everything, so it's just more safe. Where the one we have, like, I looked at it the other day and the inside's very corroded. It's very rusty on the inside, so I don't know if we'd be able to clean that enough to use it, but
I'd like to take a look at it just to see if that's a good way to collect data for this first round, since the option right now is nothing other than that, because I think that could really inform what we would wanna spend on that in the future, if we can at least show proof of, hey, we definitely would bring in more revenues, I think it's at least worth a look at first.
Yeah, and I will say just, like I have had requests numerous times, like many times throughout the last 4 winters I've been there. If we have hangar space for a jet, certain jets, whatever size, and then the next question is always de-ice. Cause if it has to be outside and they can't afford it to be stuck, like waiting for the sun to melt it off or something, they wanna be able to fly their jet out. Most of that's because they're fractional or they're chartered, so they need to go fly other people to make their money.
yeah.
But that's kind of where we're at right now with that.
Do you think that in your ask to the state for the fuel farm, is that the only thing the ask could be for, is there the opportunity to ask?
I can ask,
I just wonder what the parameters are that they award on.
they're much more lenient on what they'll fund than what the feds will fund.
Okay.
Historically, I don't think they fund what we call GSE, ground support equipment.
That's what I wondered.
that's often kind of on the other,
Yeah, still worth asking, cause
Yeah.
it would enhance services or enhance air transportation between not just us, but like from other airports, you
yeah,
know, like
and they
nearby.
funded, they helped us fund the hangar we do own. The state helped us fund that as well.
Yeah.
So it seems like they'll fund stuff like for revenue generation, but historically, like GSC's always been kind of like iffy,
Yeah,
but I mean, you don't know if you don't ask, so.
yeah, you've explained to us how it could help generate revenue.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe that's worth trying, better to try than not.
The other half of that one, the tracked aviation businesses, we actually kind of have some going now. Tom Charles, I'm sure a few of you know Tom. They're operating their flying club and then using that plane for flight instruction. They're up there quite often,
Yeah.
flying that plane with students and stuff.
Yeah, Hammer's
So-
up there learning how to fly.
Yeah, that's fun. It's kind of, you meet cool people and,
Yeah.
I don't know, it seems pretty cool to learn how to fly at the highest airport in North America, so.
Yeah,
So we do have a little bit going there.
for context, you know, as we're taking a harder look at things and what's coming on the horizon, we're just trying to play it real safe, and that's sort of why, the reason why we wanna like revisit take another look at some of the older equipment. It's not that we've lost enthusiasm for the airport or anything like that, it's just that we're trying to be extra deliberate, cautious, responsible with every dollar right now until we get more stable footing under us from, you know, state and federal levels.
Sure.
Make sure we have our own books straight, so just everything's kind of err on the side of caution right now.
And this stuff, I guess the one silver lining to it is that the airport will continue to operate, we'll be fine. Like we'll just, if we wanna bump into another level of like revenues, we gotta bump into another level of support.
Yeah.
And this is kind of that step, and it's much less costly than building more hangars on our dime. Cause, yeah, they're pretty pricey these days, like everything seems to be. So eventually I would love for the county to build and fund another like county-owned hangar.
Yeah.
We're just not quite there yet, so
Yeah.
that's a lot of funding that we'd have to figure out.
Yeah, I mean, we wanna see that too, when we're able to.
What's the net revenue from the airport,
It kind of fluctuates, so,
like
I-
annual?
it depends, like, I think this last year we were 50-something K, 50,000 in the black. And then like this year, we're looking like we might fall a little short, just because testing was quite slow this summer. But I've already, like, next summer's looking good, I already got Airbus calling me for a 5-week testing period,
Nice.
July to August next year. It's just that business kind of, I don't know, like there's just so much in the air, like what's gonna test, what's gonna happen. I have companies call me saying they're gonna come out and then something falls through. So like, and that's honestly what allows us to run in the black most years with our current traffic, which is quite novel for an airport of our size. Most people find that we make revenue is, they're like, oh, really? Cause most counties or cities or whoever, municipalities have to subsidize airports of like our size.
Okay.
But one thing that sometimes is lost is like the off-airport revenue that we don't capture in the fence.
Yeah, totally.
The state does I have one, I can send it to you. Just this year where they did the economic impact study.
Yeah.
They do it every 5 years, and it shows like, I think ours went up $1 million from the last one, from
Cool.
2020. So, yeah, that's a good way to kind of show like, hey, the airport does more than just like maybe lose a little bit of money in the fence, cause it actually pushes a lot out into town that we don't really capture.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
the rich guys flying in for the races and
Yes,
eating lots
or
of
they go to
fancy
Iraq or
dinners.
Keystone and,
Yeah, just curious.
yeah, so this year I've been trying like cut down spending, some stuff we had planned, just cause we're not quite where we wanna be with revenues. You know, some stuff that's not needed, but we've been kind of putting on the back burner a little bit. And we did have some stuff come up this year, like costs that were a little unexpected. Bit of pump septics, that hadn't been done,
Mhm.
so stuff like that. So we've been struggling with our heaters
Hmm.
in the snow removal building, so that's been, Tolan loves to charge a lot of money for repairing heaters, so, and they normally get fixed.
That's how you make more money.
Mhm.
Just keep coming back.
Yeah, so I started, I'm looking at just doing it myself. Like that's kind of where we're at, because it costs so much and saves so much money to just do it myself. I actually installed new lights in the hangar this year. I did all the work, I sat in a man basket for a week installing
that's good
LED
ladder.
lights. Yeah, so I just try and cut costs where I can.
That's awesome, Josh, thank you.
Do you have anybody local that can help you with those heaters?
Probably. I got a forklift, that's gonna help me with them.
I mean, it's Tolan Mechanical?
Yeah, they're kind of our contract, like
Yeah, I see.
HVAC guys.
Yeah.
And they were shotgunning, really what was happening was parts were like, just throwing parts at the problem and not actually troubleshooting. And I was like, these can't be this complicated, so I started troubleshooting and I took the exhaust off, cause I was like, this isn't exhausting. I found a bird nest in the exhaust.
Oh,
And then so I started taking the
Lord.
exhaust apart and then I found 15 dead birds in the exhaust pipe. I'm like, well, that might be why this isn't working very well.
wow.
And that hadn't been checked, so I was a little miffed.
15.
Oh, it was running real
15.
quiet.
Dude,
Well, cause it
Repack the
goes out
silencer.
and then they build a nest in there and I think it would kick on in the summer and kill them.
Yeah.
And then the next bird would come in and be like, kick them, and there was a pipe that goes straight down and they'd just kick them down the pipe.
Wow.
So there was 15 of them in there. I have photos if you wanna see them.
Oh, okay.
yes,
They were very dry,
Yeah,
I love it.
good
stuff like that.
Tiny Hawk skateboard graphics.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. I have a meeting tomorrow with some of the, I can't remember what's the name of that company that's doing the,
JHL,
no, for
Kimberly Horn.
the study for the business park.
Oh,
It's not Meat and Hunt, it's the other one.
no.
I can't
Is it
think.
Johnson Economics? Is that right?
That might be it.
I think that's it.
But I have a meeting tomorrow with them
It is
to
them.
discuss the business park and like how that would benefit or how that
Yeah.
could benefit the airport or people that operate businesses in the business park, so.
Cool.
That's kind of where we're moving with that right now,
Cool,
and that's really, I think you can go, I don't think I have another slide yet.
good job, Josh.
So things are looking okay, we'll keep operating. I've got 2 happy employees, I've got one, Jim's coming up on 2 years and Matt's on 3.5 years there now. So we'll keep moving along. The new snowplow we got last year has been working really well. And new to us, I should say.
I'm gonna come grab a big one this
Yeah, if you ever wanna come drive a snowplow, you can, cause they're not on the road,
Oh,
so you don't need a CDL.
Easy.
Yeah, so if you ever
morning.
wanna,
This is massive one, it's like the largest one.
yeah, my new one I got has a plow like a tractor with a trailer, and the trailer has a broom on it, so it's 65 feet long. And the trailer steers, so it plowed, the broom and the plow are synchronized, so they do the same thing.
Yes,
I bought it, it's from Denver, like Denver, DIA used it,
Wow.
and I got it for $12,000, so,
what?
What?
yeah. State, well, it would have been 60, but the state subsidizes 80% of it for you. And then,
Wow.
Dang, yes, we will come do that.
Yes, really, I don't know if we did an airport tour day and the stuff in there.
yeah, so it's like honestly me, just cause sometimes there's days where I get a little tired sitting at my desk. And plowing snow has very tangible, measurable like
Mhm.
progress,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
really good for your psyche sometimes.
Low hanging
To
fruit.
see that something's actually,
Yeah.
you're moving the needle a little bit,
That's how I feel about sweeping.
yeah,
Sometimes you just gotta go sweep.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's nice to like or mow the grass,
yeah,
like you
Totally.
can really see that you're actually doing something, cause sometimes in this line of work,
yeah.
it's hard to tell that you've actually done anything sometimes.
Yeah.
Totally.
And
Back,
it can be slow, so
So we can
there's
come
days
over
where I
there.
just go jump in a plow truck. turn off my phone for a
It
little bit.
makes sense, it's definitely something you can spend a year looking at and then be like, I'm still where I started.
So, that's it, any questions about the airport?
No, sir.
No, thank you.
Is our runway long enough to accommodate bigger jets? I remember you-
Some,
Yeah.
there's some of them are performance limited.
Yeah.
Or they're just weight limited,
Mhm.
so their range could be limited, cause they can't take on as much fuel at our airport, so that might be that's always a question that people do.
Is that part of that 100,000 tons of dirt conversation, I feel like, at the end?
Oh, I mean, yeah, we have plenty of dirt. The extensions will be hard, cause
Yeah.
the south end is, if you notice the train back there, it drops off quite quickly.
Yeah,
Like there's power lines below
Yeah,
the runway down there, like that's how far that terrain drops off, and then the other end has a highway in the way, so.
yeah,
And yeah, so we'd have probably some eminent domain issues with the south end, cause I think the Moyer Ranch butts up against it. I think they're trying to make that into a conservation easement too. I heard rumors of that.
interesting.
Which would be a struggle, and then the north, yeah, the highway's in the way, so.
I'm gonna add a layer, yeah.
But right now, we can support quite a few aircraft. It would be, if we had, BV has an 8,500 foot runway, and they're 2,000 feet lower, which helps a ton. I would love if we had an 8,500 foot runway, we could support a lot of stuff, but,
Mhm.
we don't, so.
cool, Josh, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, appreciate it. If you ever have questions, just feel free to ask.
Thank you.
Cool.
Or
And I
come
might
sit out
just
there.
circle back with you before we get to have an ask for them next week.
Yeah,
The things we'd like.
so, yeah,
Cool.
we'll see about de-ice, it's the, I don't really wanna spray it. But it'll move us into another
Gnarly.
level of support that we should see quite an increase
Yeah.
in revenues.
Glycol's not all that nasty, I don't think.
No,
They put it in food.
yeah, and glycols are really susceptible to UV,
If you drink
so,
Fireball, I mean, pretty much, that's what they spray on the airplane.
yeah. The feds,
That sounds real gnarly and not gonna.
the feds only require collection if you spray like over 100,000 gallons a year,
Wow,
Okay,
so it's,
wow, that's so much.
and it's really susceptible to UV, so it
Yeah, it
breaks down
breaks
in
down.
UV and we have plenty of that, so. I looked into that, cause that was a big part, was like, do we need to worry about collection?
Yeah.
mhm,
Yeah, we don't have to, so. Rasmus sprays enough where they have 10,000 gallon tanks,
Oh.
and they pump them twice a week in the winters.
Yeah, they're just flying in and out of there.
But
That
they have
place
like,
is
they're up to
wild.
like 350 operations a day,
Aspen?
yeah.
Yeah, the parking seems so crowded.
It's
Oh,
so
they have a big, they're doing a huge runway rehab and stuff in 2027, they're gonna close it down for like summer, it's gonna be like. just
we're
a
gonna
lot.
get busy.
Yeah, we
So
could.
fun.
I was about to say, we should capture as many of those as
We
possible.
will
Yeah.
quickly run out of room, but it'll be,
Right.
I mean, hell, if we got 2 of them like a week,
Can we put up, is there such thing as like the rhino shelter of airport hangars?
they make like big inflatable ones.
Yeah,
Well, in the summer, they don't
You blew
necessarily
that tile.
need to be in it.
No, summertime like hangars, it's kind of just,
luxury.
yeah, luxury. People often ask like, cause the big thing is hail.
Yeah.
Cause aircraft skin is not thick.
Yeah.
It's designed for a purpose and it's not for withstanding hailstones.
Mhm.
So the big one is always like, well, I'm worried about my plane, is it hail up there? I'm like, well, yes, but like Dippin' Dots.
Not like the.
Not,
Not
yeah,
like that.
Yeah, not like Denver or Colorado Springs where they're getting like 2-inch hailstones, like, or hell, even like quarters and stuff. The biggest I think I've ever seen here was like a garbanzo bean.
yeah,
Like,
exactly,
and most of the time it looks like Dippin' Dots, like,
yeah.
so.
Grapple.
Yum.
Hey, do those big jets need to be tied to the wings, need to be tied to the ground so that? they-
Not with the winds we have here. They have charts for like mooring. Little aircraft, yes, we have tie downs for those. Big jets, they have so much fuel in the wings and stuff, it would take quite a bit of wind to get them to move. And we don't have that issue here, like, knock on wood, but it's pretty rare for us to see a 60 mile an hour gust here. And even that won't even move some of those planes, like won't even bump them.
Limo service from our airport to Aspen next summer, they're gonna close the airport over there next summer.
Yeah, it's either next summer or 2027, I can't remember.
Business idea for all you folks on YouTube,
Let's do it.
old Sprinter van.
Yeah, get yourself a new,
There's a limo in town, there's a limo
Oh,
service
yeah,
in town.
yeah.
Cloud
That's-
City
If it's
limousine.
Lipo, we need old Volkswagen vans.
yeah, we gotta get over the pass though.
Yeah, with Aspen.
You will, just not fast.
Just it's a tractor.
Yeah.
It's a-
With Martina Navratilova and, Lance Armstrong.
Yeah, that's one other piece we've been, it's kind of a private side that I just haven't been able to attract as a rental car company.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Hertz pulled out a few years ago because they were struggling before COVID.
Yeah.
And Enterprise used to bring cars here, like they, Enterprise will pick you up, not this one. Though Silverthorne, I guess they're kind of like franchise offices, so the guy who owns the Silverthorne ones he doesn't like us very much. So, yeah, they stopped delivering cars, so now we have Go Rentals out of Eagle, but they're really expensive.
There's that new company that you can lease your own.
Yeah, Turo,
Turo.
yeah, hell, I've even thought about having my wife buy a car and put it out there, but,
Yeah, new Audi or something.
so.
Suburban.
But then I did get approached by two locals, they were looking at starting a rental company here in Leadville. They asked what they would need, I was like, well, get your stuff together and put a little business plan together, and then we can discuss like how that looks at the airport. And you'll have to present to the commissioners and stuff, cause they're gonna be the ones who approve like a contract or whatever. So that was about a month ago now, I haven't heard
Cool.
anything since, so. If you do hear something coming down the pipe, that's what it is.
Okay.
But that's been one piece of like, I haven't quite solved yet for jet support, is the hangar, or the rental car pieces.
Yeah.
Cause conceivably, people do wanna come in and have you fuel it while they come out and go to lunch, how would they do that?
We have courtesy cars for that, so we have two vans, they're not fancy. I think one used to be a prison transport van, and the other one was the senior center van. But they're like 15 passenger, cause we have these cruising military guys that come in sometimes, there's like 14, 15 of them.
Yeah.
So, and they're free. So, we actually, I think one went out a couple times today. So if you ever see like a big white van in town with the airport logo on it,
Yeah.
those are our courtesy vans. They can't leave the county insurance stuff. But, so those get tapped out on busy days, they'll be gone. They're just first come, first served. But like, if you've met Tony Pfaff, who's been helping with the hospital, he works for Cypress, if you guys have any interfaces with him. He flies into the airport all the time, and he actually bought a car so that he could just leave it at the airport, cause he uses our van sometimes. And he's like, it's just easier for me to get a car and bring it there. So we actually do offer long-term car stores now. I think we have 8. They pay $450 a year to park them outside. We do a little bit of like, we move them around for plowing snow. That's kind of our stipulation, you have to leave the keys with us. We'll start them up before they come, nothing crazy, but that's a service we started offering a year and a half ago now.
Cool.
But yeah, any other questions?
None for me.
No.
Stand like that.
You're good.
Okay. Well,
Thanks, Josh.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Josh.
Josh.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah.
You too.
Appreciate everything you do up there.
Keep going, we love it.
Thank you.
Sweet.
Have a good day.
You
Good
too.
here.